people of the internet, Ian, also the Freedom Astrologer, once again here and bringing you a weekly dose of freedom this time, because we're going to take a look at the week of 14th of February until the 20th of February 2022, obviously. And if you're new to my weekly reviews, this is what I do. I kind of go into the energies and the feelings and the planets of the week. And I'm going to, bring in how we're going to feel, what's going to, even physically, materially manifest into reality. And just go through the week and give you guys some pointers on what to do, how to handle it, what to look out for as well in this weekly review. So guys, let's drop in. If you haven't seen any of my previous ones, just go to my channel and check them out under playlists. Now let's start out with the week here, the 14th of February, and we're getting a pretty intense conjunction right now. It's the start of actually the conjunction of Mars and Venus, at first in Capricorn. But guys, this is a longer conjunction that will last for quite a while, for a whole month, which actually in practical and material earthly means that all the people who have very strong, let's say, Libras or Tauruses who are Venus ruled, first and foremost, you guys are going to be definitely more motivated. You're going to have more ambition. You're going to take a little more risks. Yes, it's in Capricorn, so the risks are going to be calculated risks, and ambition is going to be calculated ambition. But you're going to have a whole month of that type of energy. Kind of Mars is pushing you forward. And actually, guys, Venus is women as well, so a lot of women will feel that type of more of that ambition. And hopefully I have another part here that because Mars is a lot about men and masculine energy, so hopefully Venus can show and almost dial down the Martian aggression and make it calculated, diplomatic, and see other people's perspectives before we act as well. So there's a lot of energies going on here and how people can use these, but definitely more ambition for a lot of women and Libras and Tauruses as well. So another part of this is definitely you guys be very careful with sharp objects during the month in general, but just starting from this week already. Be careful with sharp objects, not machinery. If you have to work machinery, it's easier to injure yourself during this month as well, physically. Cuts here, bruises here and there, stuff like that. But on another note, it will bring also, not only ambition, but also sexual energy. So I think a lot of, during this month, but, again, starting from this week, we're going to see a lot of babies being made, because there's a lot of sexual energy here being brought to us. Let's put it that way. And I think guys use this energy well. And on a negative note, it can bring some arguments, more aggression into partnerships or relationships. There is this, even your partners can motivate you. Partners are more ambitious. Business partners are more ambitious. They're really going for it. Arguments, aggression in relationships. We're talking about romantic relationships here as well. So this is the beginning of it. But luckily this week we should get the more positive manifestation of this, because the Mars is strong, Venus is strong. They're both in a good term as well. So at least for this week, hopefully the negative manifestations that I just said are less felt than the more ambitious. And let's take action and let's have courage and let's do that. So again, Mars can here during this month, I think it's important to understand that there is a certain kind of cutting off, because a cutting off and boundary setting as well in relationships, boundary setting and cutting off, and these can actually manifest together. If guys, if you want to look at the bigger picture all in one video, please go look at on my channel. There's a video on February as well, the entire month with me and Donnie. We offer different perspectives. But if you prefer weeklies, you know, let's do weeklies and just listen to me speak here about these matters. Anyway, that's out there as well. Now, I mentioned cutting off and I mentioned setting boundaries. It's definitely going to happen the next month. You're going to have to do that. Others going to do that. There is a certain kind of course, the sexual tension is there, but the palpable tension of, okay, I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to do what's right, basically, for me as well, and going to put some boundaries down. The good thing here, I think, guys, is the Venus will dial it down a little bit, like that, maybe that very intense aggression there, and it will help at first to see the perspective of others as well, and kind of take calculated cutting off and take calculated setting of boundaries type of action here during the month. But starting from the week 14th, 15th February, definitely. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this Moon and Pluto opposition that's also going to happen. Now, this is a shorter term influence, but still, it's a bit of a heavy one, guys, this one. And because Pluto is in Capricorn, it's in heavy terms, and the Moon as well. They're meeting in an opposition. This is a hard aspect. And our emotional lives can be heavy, triggered. Some even, luckily this is a momentary thing. It will last for like a half a day. It will be like almost like somebody's twisting your emotions and feelings constantly with some sort of sharp object, I would say, but it's more like a reference I'm making. It's not directly, but it can be somebody from the family or somebody close to you that says something and like twists a little bit of that wound inside of you, and you might even be triggered, or you might see something that triggers you. And the emotional life for the 14th of February can be a little bit on the edge, at least the start of 14th of February, depending on where you are in the world. This is Europe time. This is going to be exact. So please be on the lookout for that. Definitely good times if you have the availability to do inner work. Every time Moon is in a difficult aspect with Pluto, of course a good aspect as well. It's good time to take a few moments here and there to go a little bit deeper within, even do some kind of research into deep matters of like psychology and astrology, for example, because it will help to deal with these emotions and feelings that are or might come up for you. So guys, let's move a little bit further, and we'll pick up, what did I want to say? So again, end of 14th, we have the Moon moving into Leo. So that's a good thing if you have fire in your chart, which a lot of you guys do. So let's move forward here. Now here it is, Moon moving into Leo. So Moon moving into Leo, there is a certain kind of heaviness with fixed signs and the Moon right now, because Saturn and Uranus are both going to be giving it bit of edginess, bit of pain, I would say, bit of hardship, even we can say that as well, because you can see, guys, Moon is going to be making hard aspect to Saturn and Uranus, which means our emotions are a little bit triggered on the edge. You just to, for example, you go outside, the supermarket or anyway, any place basically, and the people are kind of like, their emotions are on the surface, and it's easier for them to get triggered by a lot of things, even in Moon in a fixed sign, which usually is a more of a grounded one. Now, when Moon is in Leo, definitely for a few days here, during the 14th, 15th, 16th, there is a certain kind of sense of wanting to have more fun. Leo moons is always about fun and entertainment and even teaching, I would say as well. So getting up the stage and being the center stage and giving a presentation of some sort. As well, guys, this is Moon in Leo usually is a bit of a jolly one. It kind of like perks up our emotions as well. But remember, with the Uranus and Saturn right now, it can be a little bit like it's almost like jolly. You want to have fun, but there's kind of like somebody there kind of ruins that fun, or you kind of have the fun, but it doesn't feel like the real fun you want to be having. It's like almost like regulated fun or like orchestrated fun of some sort, or something annoys you during having that fun or getting that entertainment, or even when you perform and are kind of like center stage and going out, for example, very Leo moon, going out, Valentine's Day as well. So something can trigger you emotionally there as well, and take some of that fun out of that. Now let's move a little bit further. Let's go into, where did I want to go here? Oh yes, the 15th, guys, very important. So for some of you, it's going to be on the 14th, depending on where you are in the world. But Mercury, the planet of communication, is finally switching signs again. And, it's been a kind of back and forth, Capricorn, Aquarius, but now it's moving direct. It's no longer retrograde. It's going to be exalted. Finally, it's going to be exalted. Strong, which means strong. This means the communication, the information exchange, the information we're receiving. It's the quality of that is going to be much better. And the communication, yes, there's going to be a lot of information exchange and a lot of information, basically exchange with each other and coming your way, and you giving it out, and messages and stuff like that, and being online, giving out messages. But this time the information is going to be a little bit better. Yes, I'm going to dissect. Mercury is making some hard aspects, but at least the essence of Mercury for this week, especially 15th of February, starting from the 14th, is going to be strong. Mercury is going to be in its own term, double strong. So good time to do those, start giving, anything you need to write, communicate, exchange information with, is a good time to start doing that now. Again, the only thing here is it can be, there can be so much information exchange, it's hard to even follow, it's hard to even gather. So I do recommend, if there are ideas or stuff like that coming your way, write them down, take action later. There's a lot happening, which I'm about to share with you now, because we're going to go towards the full moon. Did I want to say anything else about this? Okay. So let's talk about the Jupiter Uranus sextile as well, because that's actually, let's go forward to the full moon, and then let's talk about the Jupiter Uranus sextile as well, which is, I think, one of the things that will help us during this full moon, because this full moon is, again, like I said, in Leo, so it's a little bit on the edge. It's a little bit with the Saturnian taste. You can see it here. Again, full moon happening on the 16th of February, most likely, wherever you are in the world. The full moons in general bring out these emotions, feelings. This is the time where we start to get results for our actions that we started, back somewhere, usually during a new moon in Leo. And sometimes, depending on what it is that you started, these and how you actually put your efforts in, this is the time we start to see the results. Usually in 2 weeks, we start to see these results. And usually, if there's an eclipse, it can go back in time and stuff like that. But usually, very often, these are the results we're seeing that we started usually 2 weeks ago now. sometimes you can see even results from the last new moon in Leo as well. So you can check that out as well. But again, it's a lot to check out if you're just if you're new to astrology and stuff. So I'm not going to go into that deeply. Sorry for that tangent. But anyway, we're going to have a full moon in the sign of Leo. It's a bit of a heaviness here with the full moon with the Saturn, because you can see Saturn is close here. Saturn is doing his thing. It's 10 degrees from an opposition with the moon. Luckily, it's a separating opposition, so hopefully that Saturnian heaviness to our emotions, dampening of Leo energy, of the heartfelt energy, isn't too hard. But one of the things I do see here happening is like twofold. It's one of the things is emotional. So there's an emotional heaviness, and it's easier to close your heart here from the world and whatever it is that's going on out there. It's not the easiest of times for us humans right now, so it's easier to close that heart. But for some people who are already having some, maybe heart issues, they have some problems with the heart, it's a good time to take it easier, not to overdo it, because Leo is the heart, how we open the heart, how we share love, how we basically give love out. But it's, from very practical earth level, it's still the heart, the organ heart. And when it's getting these hard aspects, I'm a little bit worried, guys, for people who have some sort of heart conditions. So please, if you recognize something, take it easier, take it more like slowly during these days, 15th, 16th, 17th, if possible. And yeah, just be prepared for, if you don't have those things, be prepared for something outside, kind of like dampering with your feelings and emotions, and kind of like you're out there and being jolly and having fun and being the center stage, and something comes in like kind of stops you from it, or stops you from doing it, being kind of dampens your mood. Let's put it that way as well, because the full moon itself is happening in quite difficult terms. As you can see, Saturn and Mars here as well, so it brings a certain kind of heaviness to it. But for those of you who know where Leo is in your charts, you can actually know that this is, from this moment onwards, you're going to get the results of your actions in these areas where the full moon is going to be happening, which is Leo. So check that out wherever this symbol is. If you go on and create a chart for yourself, this is the area of your life you're going to get results in. Yeah. So let's move onwards. I think, what did I want to say here? Did I want to say something about this full moon? I think I got most of it out. So during the full moon, I was kind of heavy, the heart and closing, and somebody dampening the. It can be also, somebody dampening our creative abilities, because Leo is a lot about creation in the world and how we put our unique, special creation into the world, the material world. And with this heaviness, there can be somebody also like almost stopping us, or saying like, are you sure? Is it ready? Coming with that Saturnian, like, you need to do this and you need to do blah, 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 which can be good, obviously. And very often you need to do it. But also, what is helping us, guys, here is, you can start to see here, let's go a little bit further. After the full moon is done with, we start to get a very nice aspect between Uranus and Jupiter. You can, because it's so close during the full moon, you can receive the boost, let's say, of this aspect as well. So this can manifest in a lot of ways, but Jupiter is going to be, let's say, expanding our context, definitely our context, and it's going to be, because Uranus has a lot to do with our long-term goals and projects and things we kind of like dream about and moving towards these kind of material goals of ours. So when these two meet in a positive aspect, Jupiter is going to expand, and it's at the same time somebody can dampen the mood, and at the same time somebody can come in, new contact, new online person can, or somebody teacher type person can come in into your sphere, into your contacts, that will help you through this full moon as well. And Jupiter really helps us to also believe that we can achieve this, we can achieve the goals, we can achieve the dreams, and gives us a nice push here. And then also a good time, kind of like friends can help, or contacts, or social people in your social circles and networks can actually help you during this full moon to go towards your goals and put your creation in the world, actually put your Leo expression into the world. Did I want to say something else about this? Yeah, the belief, I think, here is one key. I think also like the financial markets will receive a boost here as well during this time. There's a high probability of this happening with this sextile, especially the crypto markets, moving into this full moon, and even further on, it will boost these as well. Now, what do we here to? Oh, so on the 17th also, moon again starts to move into the Virgo, into the sign of Virgo. So even a little bit on the 16th, because the full moon is so close to the sign of Virgo. But anyway, when we're in that full moon in Leo, yes, we're kind of like jolly. Now full moon comes in, dampens the emotions a little bit. The emotions come out to shine as well. I say shine, but it can be a little bit uncomfortable usually during full moons, because there's so many emotions moving around for everyone, because when the moon is our emotional lives, and it really brings out everything. Also, remember guys, it really brings out what we have suppressed. And even with this kind of fixed sign and Saturn and Uranus, it can be quite a lot to deal with emotionally here, this full moon. But after the full moon, immediately the moon moves into a very practical earthly moon sign of Virgo, or a sign of Virgo. And this is where we hopefully have the energy of, okay, so the emotions and the feelings have come up, and we're kind of processing them. And yes, it was a quite difficult one, but now we start to get down and dirty, get into the practical, Virgo moons is very much of let's make something practical happen as well. There's no kind of nonsense there. There's no let's have fun and jolly. That there's no no such thing happening. It's very much of a, let's do the practical work now. Let's get into the nitty gritty and figure out what we need to do next. Although yes, it can be a little bit critical, or a lot critical, so it will be a lot of criticalness, but I think it's in a way it's a good transition from that new emotional jolly dampening kind of new full moon into a very practical Virgo moon. So it's easier to kind of be done with those emotions and feelings, and then carry onwards, and we still have to put in efforts to get those results we started a couple of weeks ago, and even further down the line. Now, moon. Okay, so this is, I think, is a good one to share with you guys as well. Because remember how I said about dampening and the jolliness and the feelings and emotions, and then getting very serious about it. Now, this is an interesting one that happens later during the 17th of February because Jupiter and Moon are going to make an opposition. Now, the Moon is in a very practical earthly sign. So it means usually that the emotions are also reserved. But now Jupiter, very strong Jupiter here, comes in and they make an opposition. This actually will for let's say half a day, couple of hours at least, will fill us up with some of that Jupiterian optimism, and it can give us an extra boost after that quite a dampening Leo full moon with Saturn there. So, but like the tendency here with that opposition and Jupiter and Moon is to kind of overdo it. It's almost like it will bring and rip those or that optimism out of that earthly and practical Virgo moon that wants to suppress it and put it out there. Um, I think it can almost be like too much, you know, on an emotional side. Like, feel too much, be too be too be too optimistic. I would say is the word I'm looking for, or the words I'm looking for here. For a couple of hours. So it's not that bad actually. I think it's not that bad, guys. Here after that full moon coming in, um, just just watch out for like too much optimism here for these couple of hours during the 17th of February. Now let's move onwards. And February 18th. Let's go there. And let's talk about Moon trine, Moon opposite, Sun into Pisces. Okay, let's go there. I think that's a good word to go because the Sun is going to switch signs as well. Let's go into it. Where is it? Where is it? Almost there, almost there. And there it is. So when you're in Europe, the Sun is moving into the sign of Pisces, guys. And remember, I talked about the Sun, I talked about the Leo. Sun is a lot about how we create, how we make things. It's a huge amount of where our attention goes to as well. Our energy levels, even, I would say. So when Sun moves into the sign of Pisces, it brings that first starts to bring more of that need to be in privacy and create in privacy, make things in private, like almost behind the scenes type of energy. And it's a much more of a creative energy, like we've been in this Aquarian Sun energy, like let's be part of groups and let's make things in groups and let's work towards our goals and put our kind of like go towards those material and social goals we have and dreams we have. And now Sun moves into the sign of Pisces. You're kind of like working down there in behind the scenes. You know, it's Friday, so starting to work behind the scenes more creatively, more creative projects. Put your creative intelligence into work, creative expression into work. It doesn't always have to be, you know, only artists or anything. You can use that more of that creative side, even in kind of like more earthly, practical matters as well. So this is a one time where you, yes, we move a little bit slower, or maybe slower is not the best word. We move almost like back and forth with things as well, because it's a mutable sign, Pisces as well. So there can, there can be a little bit back and forth there. And change our minds and, oh, let's do it like this and let's do it like that, maybe, oh, let's shift here, and while we're working behind the scenes. Now what did I want? 1 2 3 4 5. So the moon, moon is making nice aspects here. It's making a lot of trine, a lot of trines actually coming into the 18th. Lot of uplifting for emotions, even in the sign of Virgo. We're going to get trines here from Venus and Mars. So emotionally, we'll kind of start to get over that full moon as well, we start to move a little bit easier to move forward as well. Let's go. So Sun in Pisces. I think I wanted to say something else about the Sun in Pisces. Can't remember. Anyway, like I think I want to mention Sun a little bit more because we've been so much into the Sun has been getting a beating here. Literally, our creative side has, or our material creation and joy and fun side has been getting a little bit of a beating here by Saturn and the terms Mars and Saturn kind of propelling us to take action, moving forward with our material earthly goals. And now it's like, okay, so yes, we slow down a little bit more. We go behind the scenes. The energy is a little bit lower. I would say, in my opinion, the Sun in Pisces usually, and we like to work behind the scenes as well. So I think that's it. God, it's a weird one. It feels like I have something else I want to say, and the words aren't coming out. What do I want to say about this? Can't remember. So anyway, let's leave it at that. Otherwise, I will start to repeat myself too much. If it comes, it comes. Now, the 19th is an interesting one because the moon changes signs as well. Because from a bit of a serious one in the sign of Virgo, we're going to be moving into the sign of Libra, which is a very much of a social sign. So the weekend gets a bit of a, I would say, a boost, in my opinion, because when the moon is in Libra, people are more pleasant, more diplomatic. They are more considerate of others. It's easier to contact people. It's easier to even like if you have some problems with somebody, it's easier to basically call them up or send a message, and they're kind of more open to what you have to say. They more understand your perspective as well. So this is a good time to that. Anyway, Mercury is in Uranus, so we're going to be reaching out or exchanging information anyway with other people. So Libra Moon as well, good time to do it. I would do it, and especially good because beginning of 19th, depending on where you are in the world, Mercury and Moon are going to make a nice little trine here, or a big trine, we can say that as well. It's a good time to, kind of like even know what other people want to hear and really emotionally be in tune with people and what they want to hear. And the words that are coming out are almost intuitively the right words that you actually want to say. I think this is the one that I wanted to give to you guys. Okay. So yeah, Moon in Libra, nice time to do that. Remember that Mars, though, that Mars can bring in some intensity there that we spoke about before that. Generally, I like this moment or this day to kind of contact people, talk to them, get deals done or whatever it is that you need to do with them, reconcile something. I think it's a good one, at least an okay one for us to do that. Okay, let's move to the last day of the week. Last day of the week. Okay, so let's go here. The last day of the week. Nothing really super special happening here. Moon is going to be in Via Combusta after, so it's around 3-4 p.m. if you're in Europe, depending on where you are. Via Combusta is a bit of an interesting one. It's from the 18th and 18 degrees of Libra to 18 degrees of Scorpio. The ancient traditional astrologers said that these degrees aren't almost good for anything. But I actually have done a bunch of stuff and I've never seen it play out so dramatically. So I'm not I don't want to go into a lot of fear-based things. So still Moon in Libra for the remainder of the weekend, Sunday 20th. So still emotionally a pleasant time. Um, you know, it is it's a because Libra is an air and quick sign. It can be a little bit like I'm here and there, and it's easier to go from one thing to another, but still a good pleasant Libra moon for us to enjoy this weekend or in the weekend. At the same time, coming in later on in the day, or even if you're in the States or somewhere there, earlier can be because the moon is going to be square Mars and Venus here. You can see a square here happening. It can bring, some rash reactions in that communication. So if you have some sort of reaching out to do, I would do it earlier. Maybe Saturday is a better one to do it because we have that Mercury, remember, trine that is helping us. So do it Saturday and keep this Sunday kind of like maybe to yourself. Yeah, I think it's a good time to even enjoy some lovemaking. I would say if I look at this completely honestly, good time to do some lovemaking here. End of or middle of Sunday. That's it, guys. I think I've exhausted your attention spans. But anyway, I will keep doing more of these and more of these. And we're going to bring in different topics during these weekly reviews as well. Please let me know if you like them, if you enjoy them, if you're getting something out of them. And we're going to continue next week as well. We're going to talk about a bunch of other stuff that's going to be happening soon on our sweet planet Earth. So guys, thank you very, very much for being with me. Thank you very much for listening. Ian, also the Freedom Astrologer out for now. And see you again soon in the next video.